Hi everyone, welcome back to one of my demo environment videos. Some of you might remember the environment that I created a few months ago based on JBoss Business Process Management Suite and JBoss Fuse Service Works. Well, I extended that environment to now also include JBoss Data Virtualization. The entire idea hinter that is to have a process, which is still our beloved household insurance purchasing process, to not only talk to JBoss Fuse Service Works to simulate a backend call, but also to retrieve information from data sources. And as in most companies, there's not only one data source, but various ones, I introduced the virtualization component to aggregate the data that comes from those various endpoints. In the case of the scenario that I will run you through, it's a Postgres database running in one Docker container and a real live Salesforce.com environment. So if you do want to create this environment yourself, I would recommend to always clone the most recent version from my Git repository. And if you follow the beginning of the installation instruction that I provided for you, then you will see in the prerequisite section what you need to do before really starting the build of the environment. That is mainly going to Salesforce.com and requesting a demo account, which is free of charge and works for 30 days. Your Docker host has to have a few prereqs like Maven and Enter JDK. And before really kicking off the build process for the Docker container, you have to alter only one XML document where you need to enter your username and password for Salesforce. So let's assume you already cloned your environment. So let's go onto console. I'll show you that I have no Docker images available at the moment, and I am in the directory that I cloned from GitHub. In here you have a demo script that you can run, and you should do that by going for demo build all. After starting the build process, the script will download the CentOS base image and will build all the various Docker container that you need. This might take a while, so grab yourself a cup of coffee and lean back, enjoy the show, and I will be right back. Now that the process is done and all containers are created, we can use Docker images to verify that we have all containers created and ready to be used. To start up the demo environment, you can again use demo script and say start all. What this script will now do is start the various containers, define the names and the links between the various then running images, so that the business process management image, for example, knows exactly where to find it, what IP address to use if it wants to communicate with the Postgres or the Fuse Service Works image. Okay, as you can see, we started 4 container, and now if you use Docker PS, you can check how they started. For example, the Heise _ BPM, which will be the one that we will do the main interaction with, has been started so that the port 8080 has been mapped to localhost 49160. So let's change to a browser and log on to Business Central. You can see it's not yet started. If you want to check on the status of the various images, you can use Docker logs and the container ID. And now you can see that just a few seconds ago BPM-Suite finished its starting procedure. So if we reload Business Central console, we are ready to go. Username, as with most of my demos, is P Steiner, and the password is change12_me. So let's log in. We are at the welcome screen of JBoss BPM-Suite version 6. And if we go into authoring, project authoring, you can see all the various artifacts that have been created. Let's start by looking at the business process. So I can give you a bit of introduction on what's going to happen once you start the process. So as said earlier, this is about requesting new household insurance. So when you start the process start form will ask you a few questions on what type of living area that is, how large it is, and in what zip code area you live. Based on these information, the process will calculate discounts or uplifts. It will do a check so that you don't get too many discounts or uplifts. Once he has done that, he will go to View Service Works via web service call and will request the amount that you're supposed to pay for your insurance. This information will be presented as a human task back to you. You can now either accept the data and proceed with the process, or not accept them and will get the chance to re-enter information, change information, like going from premium to standard insurance. But let's assume you accepted the information. Then we will do another web service call, this time to the data sources via JBoss Data Virtualization, and we'll check if you are already known to us. And this, for simplicity reason, is just by the last name. So when you're known, the system will just copy the data that it retrieved and proceed to whatever needs to be done. And if you're unknown, then we would start another human task and ask for the various data and proceed. So let's run this process. To be able to do so, we will first have to deploy it. And always please remember, we are using Docker, so whenever you start the environment new, it's like a fresh environment. So you will have to do the build and deploy step every time you do a fresh start of the environment. So now it's started and deployed. We can go in process definitions. Here you can see the household insurance process as the only available one. We will start it. And here's the form that creates or asks for the initial information. You don't need to fill out everything, but you should give a last name. And obviously Steiner is one that the system knows, so this one should go directly without the second human task. We can leave the zip code, but you can type in any other zip code as long as it is a 5-digit number, as this demo was originally built for Germany, and in Germany we do have 5-digit zip codes. You can select what type of house you have, if it is a flat or a detached house or single home. You can enter living area, so how large is it, and what kind of tariff you want. So we will start the process. The very first start takes a bit longer than all the other ones that will follow, so no reason to panic. Now we look at the task list, and we can see that there is a new task waiting for me to pick it up. It's the accept proposal task. So we'll click on the task. We will say that we want to work it, and now you can see the proposal based on the information that I entered. He says that I have to pay yearly insurance of 680 money. We will accept this proposal. We will complete this step and are done. So there's no other human task waiting for us. If you look at running process instances, there are none anymore. So this was a clean run through. Let's do that again. We'll start the process. We'll enter a different last name, this time one that he doesn't know. And we will use a much larger living area. We'll start the process, and I said this one runs through much quicker. We will go into the task list and work this task. Now you can see it's a bit more money that we have to pay this time. So we'll accept it and complete this step. And there is another human task waiting for us, as the customer Maya is unknown. The system wants us to enter the data. So we go into this human task. Here's the new form that needs to be filled out to give the system the data. Actually, you don't need to do that. You can just go on complete, and we are done. So that would be demonstrating run-throughs through the process. What the demo also includes is a business dashboard. So if you go on the Heise demo workspace, you will be presented with a few rather simple views on the business activity that has been done. There's a bit of data from the previous days, and you can see that today we already contracted insurance claims, or not claims but contracts, for 1.3 thousand euro. This is the spread over the different insurance types. So now you can do all the charmy things of a business dashboard, like drilling into saying, okay, I just want to know which ones were premium. So you log on premium, and then you, by clicking apply filter, and you can see the filters over here. that it's premium. If you don't want it anymore, you just click the trash symbol and we're back to the original unfiltered dashboard information. So that would be introduction and dumming the business activity monitoring dashboard. Let's go back into the authoring view of this environment, because of what you can also show in here is how you author and use business rules. Everything that is in this demo is based on a domain-specific language that I provided here, so that people that are not known to programming or don't want to get into rules language, that they can use a terminology to define rules based on a language that they are experienced with. So we go into the guided rules. There are a few guided rules prepared. Let's, for example, select flat large. Here you can see now how the rule is designed in this domain-specific language, which is actually a way that everyone can read and understand what's happening here. So that would be, and you're well welcome to click into the other rules and play with the other rules, or the test scenarios that I provided to the rules. Just feel free and welcome to click around and test the demo. So that would be a short intro. I hope you feel this demo environment useful, either to have a starting point to play a bit with the product, or for any other purposes. And as usual, stay tuned for new things to come. Bye.